looking for someone who will take on teachers, who will take on the deep state, and who will take on Donald Duck and his friends. And I will do, I will do anything to defend freedom in America except fly commercial.
Oh, yes, very brave stance. Ambassador Haley, quick closing statement, please.
Again, proud to be with my, I just think it's time that we do not have any more penises in the White House. I mean, maybe in the back rooms, but in the main Oval Office, I think there should be a woman. I think it's time. And I know that I have occasionally gone one way, gone the other way, and flipped a little bit. That's only for the people of this great country, because everybody does that. And I try to, everybody sees things from more than one side, and that's what I try to do. So my flip-flop of it, I call it just being an American.
All right. So patriotic, it brings a tear to my spleen. Thank you, Ambassador Haley. And finally, closing statement, President Trump.
Yes, for my last butthole, which is a rebutthole, that's all right. Let me say, first of all, look at these two. You can't be serious. You can't be serious. First of all, I never trust a woman with no sleeves. Tacky. So tacky. Listen, whatever your name is, sir. You fly, I don't know, you need a private jet, first of all. Let me say, I'm the best president. Hold on. I need to wrap this up. My tan is wearing off. I'm gonna have to get a redo, because you guys are making me sweat a little bit. It's hot in here. But let me say, I'm the best president. I'm the greatest. Vote for me, or you're gonna have to deal with a shirtless woman. Sleeveless woman.
President Trump. All right. That's your 2023 Republican Party debate right here, folks. Please put your hands together for Governor DeSantis, played by Fish Stark. Nikki Haley, played by Kelly Trott. And of course, President Trump, Tommy Taylor Jr., star of stage and screen. Thank you all. Give it up for them. That was so patriotic. Thank you. Thank you, Governor. Thank you. All right. It was kind of fun. We're going to get on with the show, so we have two more acts left, including your headliner, of course, Danny Roulier. But coming to the stage next, I have a gentleman who, get this, he worked in the White House. He worked in the White House, okay? Secondly, he wrote jokes for one of the presidents. So that's good preparation for today. And of course, you have seen him at the DC Improv and clubs up and down the East Coast. Please put your hands together for Herricane!
All right, thank you. Give yourselves a hand for coming out and seeing comedy. First things first, anyone here on their first date? First date? How about your last date? Anyone here on their last date? Last date? Don't worry, sir, she'll let you know. My name is Herricane, and like you, I'm cursed to live in interesting times. In fact, we just had one of the biggest scandals ever. An ex-president indicted for paying hush money to Stormy Daniels. It's the biggest presidential scandal since Monica blew Bill or George blew Katrina. So I'm going to start off, in light of that, by talking about the porn industry. There's 1 million porn films on the internet. When I was growing up in the 70s, there was one porn film. Everyone knew the name. Anyone? Deep Throat, you got it. You got that shit on Blu-ray, don't you? Deep Throat was so famous that a source in the Watergate investigation used it as his name. Deep Throat. You couldn't get away with that with today's porn titles. It's like Director Mueller, we've called you to Capitol Hill, asked who your source was in the Russia investigation. Well, Senator, he had an alias. What was the alias? Well, it was, stepsister never saw this coming. Yeah, that's a real big fight between Donald Trump and DA Alvin Bragg. That's a heavyweight fight, isn't it? I call it showdown at the Golden Corral. I just hope there's an ankle bracelet big enough to fit them, you know? But the other scandal, the other big political story of the last 5 years, of course, is coronavirus, COVID. Devastating to the porn industry, to the comic industry. I mean, during the quarantine, I slept too much, I ate too much, I stayed in the house, I didn't get out socially. Damn you, coronavirus, for not changing my lifestyle one bit. Actually, I am not afraid of COVID. My lungs can take it. I grew up with 2 chain-smoking parents. 2 chain smokers. And they never rolled down the car windows. Right? My dad's Chevy Malibu had 1 seatbelt and 6 ashtrays. And they were all full. How are the backseat ashtrays full? I'm an only child. Screw COVID, I'm the only 3rd grader with emphysema. Thank you, Mom. I wish COVID caused tooth decay, so the government could tell my co-workers to brush their goddamn teeth. Susan, what are you reading? You smell like the dumpster behind a Starbucks. Yeah, that's a new one. It doesn't deserve a lot of laughs. Oh, man, oh day. But now, you know, there's one good thing that's come from the quarantine. A lot more home delivery options these days, right? Get a lot of stuff delivered to home. Like, I just joined a grocery delivery registry, Aldi's grocery registry. It's very convenient, but you gotta be careful. They have autocorrect. So I was typing in my items, chives and bok choy, and they corrected it to Chinese boy. So now I'm on a second registry. Because now that COVID's apparently over, the government's focused on the normal stuff, like trying to keep you from drinking and driving. I'm from Pennsylvania. We're a hard drinking state. We are. We lead the nation in the production of bicycles with motors on them so convicted drunk drivers can get to work. Very proud of that. Actually, coming down the highway tonight, I saw a highway sign. It was a flashing 2-part sign. The sign said, buzzed driving, flash is drunk driving. Only problem is I caught it on the wrong flash. So what I saw was, is drunk driving flash buzzed driving? I was like, damn, that's a good question. I'm gonna crack a bottle, figure that shit out. The news keeps happening. This week in the news, they found another foreign hot air balloon over Hawaii airspace. I guess Joe Biden's anti-inflation act didn't work. Oh, that got a hiss. That's nice. More banks are failing. My banker told me not to put all my eggs in one basket. I was like, you can afford eggs, motherfucker? And then today, King Charles was coronated the king. Ceremony. Well, you know, the only black guy for the day was Prince Andrew held a Stop the Steal rally. Oh, and they're getting on Biden, of course, for having classified documents in his garage. Ladies and gentlemen, the man is 82 years old. He has everything in his garage. Plus, we're going to deal with war overseas. Now, I don't know anything about war. I don't know anything about foreign policy. All I know is that in about 2 years, there's going to be 5 to 7 really good Ukrainian restaurants in Tacoma Park. And actually, I was on Facebook. They sent an ad for a new dating app. It said, and I'm serious, find single Ukrainian women. And my first thought was, that shouldn't be too hard. Just check the battlefield reports. Who did the Russians shoot today? Call their house. You don't need an app, you need a map. I didn't know I was playing in front of the Ukrainian-American Friendship Association. That's all right. Of course, in Florida, you have Ron DeSantis, MAGA versus Draga down there. They just passed another bathroom bill that's saying transgender men can't use the men's room, transgender women can't use the women's room. I don't care who uses the bathroom. All I care about is that the government keeps letting me use the handicap stall. I need those 2 bars. Plus, I'm a little bit worried that my barber at Great Clips is a groomer. I'm just coming out of his chair looking a little bit too good, you know? Well, people wonder if I understand the MAGA movement. I do. I lived in Alabama for 6 years. Met a lot of MAGA people. Learned something about being in Alabama. Learned how you can tell when you're in the Deep South. You know you're in the Deep South if you can see a Waffle House restaurant while you're looking out the window of another Waffle House restaurant. You know you're in the Deep South. Plus, I learned the state song of Alabama. Anybody know? No? Sweet Home Alabama. Goes like this. Sweet Home Alabama, where the skies are so blue. Is that the best thing you have to say about your state? The skies are blue? I'm pretty sure the skies are blue over Iraq. I'm not booking Travelocity. The thing I like the best about MAGA people, they have good truck stories. Like, I'm from the north, I have a truck, but I don't have good truck stories. I'm MAGA. I was talking to this MAGA guy down in Alabama. He had a dent in his Dodge Ram bumper. I have a dent in my Dodge Ram. I said, how'd you get the dent? Well, me and the boys were towing the Bayliner down to the Cahaba River. And it started raining around, 12-degree grade hill, turned muddy as shit, had to flip that bitch around, backed up into a coniferous tree, might be deciduous, I don't know, but it knocked the shit out of that bumper, I'll tell you. How'd you get the dent in your bumper, son? Well, I was in the Taco Bell drive-thru lane, and they forgot my Diablo sauce, so I had to back that bitch up. And the yellow car might have been white. I don't have that problem anymore. Diablo sauce for days. Folks, these are my edibles. Tried dating in Alabama, it didn't go well. This one girl dropped me when she found out I wasn't famous. You mean you're not Peter Griffin? Another girl was more sophisticated. I said, who do you like to listen to? She said, Cardi B. I said, me too. Only it's my cardiologist, Barry. I don't gotta dance, I got atrial fibrillation. I should just give up. If I get a trophy wife at this point, it'll be a participation trophy, you know what I mean? I got 2 more minutes? One more? Oh, well, they're also banning books in Florida, of course. I say they should ban TV shows. Have you guys seen this show on A&E called Intervention? With the drug addicts? There's some messed up people on that show. You know you're messed up when you need subtitles and you speak English. Where'd you put your crack pipe, Mom? Where'd you put your crack pipe, Mom? Sorry for the cough. COVID. And they show everything on that show. They showed this one poor woman, a multiple addict. They showed her shooting up heroin. Then she did Atlantic Coke. Then she did crystal meth. Then she poured herself a vodka and Coke. But they had to blur out the Coke can logo because you can't show everything on TV. Well, I'll close out with an actual personal story. And then a last joke, if that's all right. Talking about drunk driving, I was recently pulled over for suspicion of drunk driving. I was up in Gettysburg, 2 a.m. after a show. Stopped at a Rudders for an iced tea. Apparently that's a tell. Cop sees me, follows me out on the road, sees me weave in and out of the left lane. Folks, you ever try to take off your face mask while putting on your seatbelt? That shit is dangerous. So he stops me. He says, "You've been drinking, you on drugs, you got drugs in the car." I said, "No." He said, "Well, I'm gonna have to give you a breathalyzer test." I was like, "Fine." He said, "Breathe into the straw." I breathed into the straw. He said, "Well, you blew a 0. And I said, "So did your wife." I said that shit up here. I'm gonna close out saying, I love this country, I joke about it, but I love it. In this country, everybody has an equal opportunity, whether you're black, white, whatever your race, creed, religion, your gender, your sexual orientation, LGBTQ plus status. You have the same opportunity to have your very own mass shooting. My name is